Alex at Corumdale Farm. We have been super busy the past week doing a bunch of odds and ends chores around the farm and projects to get ready for the growing season, but each little task didn't really seem to warrant its own video. So I thought it'd be interesting if I walked around, kind of show you the changes that have occurred and what we're up to, what's going on, and then at the end give you a tour of the grow room to show you what I've got going on, what I'm about to start, all the fun plant seedling stuff. The biggest change we've made is we moved the location of the flower cottage. The flower cottage, which is where I start all of our seedlings and where I'm going to store and process all of the flowers. And that used to be over by the garage. We thought that was the better spot because it was easier to hook up electrical and water, or so we thought. And that's where we put it. After living with it for a bit, we realized, not the best decision. It's actually better out in the flower field because I'll show you it's more convenient for me to get to the flowers and come back to where they're going to live. But also we have some fun things planned for this space. Let me show you. We contacted the company that delivered the shed for us. We called them, we said, can we pay you to move it again? And so they brought out their cool little equipment to do that. They moved it from way over there on the other side of the house by our garage, brought it here on their little trolley dolly thing and came around. And then I worked hard with Eric's tractor help to gravel out all around it. And you can see that we have the raised garden there and the fields in the distance. And so this makes it just so much more convenient for minimizing wasted steps that I would take, especially in the hot summer months. But also we have some fun plans for this area. So probably in the next couple weeks, Eric is going to start working on building a roof to come out over the gravel off of the cottage. And the reason we want to do that is it'll provide extra shade, shelter, and rain, a little bit of a windbreak, all that fun stuff to sit at the table. But in the future, it would allow me to host you-pick events and workshops and give us somewhere that we can sit towards the end of it. I can answer questions, do any of like the workshop stuff, give us a nice spot. I think I'm going to do like cafe lights and stuff so we could be here later in the evening when it's cooled down from the summer heat, all that fun stuff. So he's going to start working on that soon. And if it picks up on camera, there's a really big pile of extra gravel there, and I have completely bit it there a couple times very ungracefully. Another fun thing that we've been working on is creating a new entrance to the farm. So previously, everything just entered through our private entrance there, just everyone. The flower stand was there, deliveries were there, dump trucks were there, all of the things. And it was not great for our blacktop to have those big heavy trucks dump stuff, and they're dumping stuff like way in an area where we don't need it. We need it on the flower farm side. So we took down part of the fence, contacted the county, and they came with their equipment and they dug out and installed a culvert underneath there, graveled it for us. It was super awesome, happened super quickly. And then this weekend, Eric and our neighbor buddies worked on drilling holes and setting the posts for the fence. And the fence is like 16 feet and super heavy. But we'll work on getting that installed so we can have deliveries. And we already used the new system yesterday, which was really exciting to see. We got 2 dump trucks of mushroom compost delivered yesterday, and it was really exciting. There's a mushroom farm maybe like 40 minutes from us, and so we got 2 dump trucks, and what he did was he was able to come down our busy road, back up all the way, dump it right where we're going to use it, since this is all the compost that's going to be spread on our 3 fields out in the flower farm section. So that worked out really nicely. But another reason for creating this new entrance is that in time, we want to create a graveled drive-through for the flower stand. And so instead of coming to our private entrance, I'm going to have the flower stand out here. People can come in, drive through, pick up flowers, and then exit out the other end. And I just think that'll be so much more convenient for everyone, good boundary space, so my kids who are out here right now can be playing all over the place, not have to worry about cars, and it'll also make for a safer entry and exit onto our slightly busier country road that we have here. So that's really exciting. I'm excited to see it in action here. We were having dinner, a neighborhood dinner party with about 4 houses that live on our road, and one of them is a vegetable farmer, which is across the road from us. I'm hoping to do some tours with him in the summer, show you his space. But he brought us 3 sapling trees to plant. We got 2 red buds and a red mulberry, and so we got those sweet little twigs planted. We put a T-post next to them so Eric with his tractor or the kids with their bikes don't just like run over and crack them. But we got those planted, which is really awesome. Back at the flower cottage, I'll show you inside of what I have growing and what I need to get started. The space is looking great. It's nice and cozy, 68 degrees. Yesterday was an exciting day. I turned on the Tulip flower fridge. I was able to harvest only a couple. We're ready. So it looks weeny now, but before I know it, shelves will be full, or at least if all goes well, shelves will be full. And I'm also trialing how long I can hold daffodils until they blow open, to try to save some to pair with the tulips in some arrangements I make. So it's really exciting to turn on officially the tulip fridge for the season. We hopefully in the next couple days are going to work on sanding and staining my countertop that's going to go in here. My daughter made me, she took one of the seed catalogs, I think it was like the Johnny seed catalog, and made me a little collage. I like it. I like the bright color, I like the inspiration of the giant hill, of which we don't have, and the pond. But here I have my 2 grow racks. They're almost completely full, except for the bottom got emptied out because I recently planted out campanula and yarrow yesterday, and then our last video I planted out a bunch of cool hardy annuals if you want to see that video of what I was able to get out. But I will try to be brief and give you a quick tour of what's been growing. But here I have 2 trays of hollyhocks. This one should bloom first year if I can get them out soon. This is your traditional biennial, but it's a double blossom, which I'm really excited about to see next year. I have lots of perennials. I have salvia, but I also have celery. I need to come in here and thin. They germinated way better than I thought they would. I've got oriental poppy. I've got foxglove. We'll see. I'm pretty late on this, but we'll see. Maybe. There's hope. More oriental poppy. That tray's dead. My echinacea, looking pretty good. Bells of Ireland. Also didn't do great, but we're learning. We're trying. And I have Nigella and feverfew, which are succession plantings for what went out in that video I just mentioned. So that's exciting. They'll go out probably in a week. Penstemon, which is looking really great. I love when the seedlings have different color leaves. It's really neat. More oriental poppy and agastaki that just, they don't want to do much. They're alive, but not thriving. We'll see though. Second rack here, I've got chamomile and I've got bee balm, catmint, which I want to use as like a ground cover in the perennial spaces. I've got more bee balm. I want all the bee balm. This tray I'm excited about. This is Status. Looking really great. Hoping to be able to plant that out at the end of the month. And then another little tray of Status, but a different variety. I've got 4 trays of snapdragons of all different varieties. They look really good. But snapdragon, cracks me up. Snapdragon seeds are so tiny, and I tried my best, but look, I just completely didn't sow like a whole block. I just totally skipped it. That's okay. I like starting snapdragon seeds. I can start another tray. I've got Bupleurum here, which is another succession planting. Can go out soon. I've got more echinacea, but a different variety. And look at this. I sowed this borage on February 20th and it's March 6th. And it's already like exploding out of its blocks. So I'm going to need to pot that up. I've got, like I said, more snapdragons. I've got Amy dill. I've got sea holly. This was some of the first things I started. Super slow growers, but I think that's about ready to be hardened off to go outside, which is exciting to go in the perennial space. I've got traditional dill that I'm growing for use for canning pickles and stuff from our cucumbers, but also I'll let some of them go to seed and flower and use those flowers in arrangements. And more snapdragons, all the different color snapdragons. Down here on the bottom rack, I'm really excited about. These are my dahlias that I overwintered, barely successfully. I potted them up to see which ones survived, and they look really good. These are all the ones that ended up showing life. But what I'm going to do is take cuttings. So you can cut right here where my finger is, dip it in a rooting hormone, and stick it in a soil pot, and it'll root and give you a new dahlia. And when you do cuttings, it gives you true to parent plant. So this cutting will be what this tuber is. Whereas if you start dahlias from seed, you're just going to get an entirely new dahlia. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to try that. I don't need more dahlias, but I wanted to try it because it sounds fun. I'm hoping to, like I said, start some more snapdragons. Start and snapdragons became snow. Start more, I can't even say it. Start more snapdragons because of my complete failings in some of those empty blocks. I want to make sure I have enough. I'm probably going to have extra, but I'd rather have extra to pop randomly all around the garden than be short and be frustrated, because they do take probably about 6 weeks to get ready, 5-6 weeks to get ready. So snapdragons, but the new thing I'm going to start is gomphrena. Gomphrena is a summer flower, but has kind of a slow start. So I'm going to start it now, needs about 5-6 weeks, and then it'll be ready to plant out after our last frost, which is mid-April. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a sooner last frost because we're trending a bit warmer this year, but I'm still going to go off of my April 15th timeline for my calendar and go from there. Next week I'll start celosia, but this week is gomphrena week, is what I'm hoping to get done. Now, I don't know if you can see here our master to-do calendar, but we're pretty much right on track. We got our compost delivered, and next week we are going to be prepping the first field to be planted. That field is going to get snapdragons and lisianthus and gladiola, and then eventually it will get the zinnias, the cosmos, all the fun early summer colors of those flowers. The sunflowers are going to go in there, all of that. So we need to spread the compost, we need to till it, lay the drip, lay the landscape fabric, all that logistical stuff, so that hopefully the week of March 20, I can start planting. It's going to be really exciting. So much of this has been like prep and wait, start seeds and wait, all of this. But probably this week is where it really felt like I'm harvesting tulips and we're getting compost delivered, and like things are really starting to roll and get busy, which is really exciting. We're coming out of winter. I just saw my nectarine opened blossoms yesterday, which is really exciting. I need to protect it in case we get a hard frost, but it truly feels like spring is happening. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour video of what we've been up to. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.